All replays, replays, replays. Oh, I do love it when other people send me replays of their games because I just love it. I love seeing how other people play Blitz. And I love sharing their replays with everybody else. So if you've got some really good replays that you'd like to send me, please do so at fugitsblitz@gmail.com. Also, check me out on Facebook. So, without further ado, let's see some other people's replays. Before we go any further, I just want to point out this channel isn't just about me. It's about you, the players. So, guys, really, please send me those replays. Because, hey, even you want to share your great games with everybody, and it's fun to share. So, here we have Harrier77 of NX6 Clan, a good friend of mine from the EU forum, going out in the FV201 A45, which is a British Tier 7 heavy premium tank. And guess what? Wow, the DPM on this thing is off the charts. And whilst it may have a low penetration value at about 171, well, the gun handling couldn't be any better. It's got an aim time of about 1.7 and a reload time of about 3 seconds, which for a Tier 7 heavy tank is pretty good going. And it's got reasonable armor too, to be perfectly honest. The only downside, as I said, is the penetration values are a little bit low for a Tier 7 heavy. And the damage at 160 is also a little bit on the low side. But when you've got a 3-second reload time, wow, I mean, you can just really pummel the opposition, assuming you pen them. And Harrier77 here doesn't seem to be having a problem penning this IS. And the armor's already bounced 200 from somebody else. Okay, he's just taken another 220. But wow, I mean, he's coursed 400, he's bounced 200. He's using this tank to the best, and now he's going after the Type 58. And look at this reload. It's literally obscene. I mean, it really is. And don't forget, this is a heavy tank. This is not a medium. It's a heavy tank at Tier 7, and it's got a 3-second reload. Wow. I mean, you could have so much fun in this. And no doubt Harry is having a whale of a time. So far, he's caused 800 damage, bounced 200, and he's only lost 200 hit points himself. And okay, the mobility is not the best, but it's a Tier 7 heavy. I mean, it's faster than the Louvre. There's no doubt. But it's that gun that makes this tank. I mean, that gun is just spectacular. I mean, look at this. He's getting up there, sticking 162 high alpha into the back of the IS, and he's got another kill. He's now, over 1,000 damage. And he's taken what? And he's just bounced another 100 and something. I mean, this is just, it's not an OP tank. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like I'm making it OP. It's not. The way Harry is playing it, the way he's picking off his targets. Okay, this Tiger looks a bit AFK. But obviously he wasn't AFK, else he wouldn't have got to that position. Well, he's something he is. He's probably AFK now. And this is an easy target for Harrier. But why not? I mean, okay, he's at over 2,200 damage now. Okay, somebody took the kill from Harrier, but hey, he's still 2,200 damage, and he's bounced 360, and he's only lost, what, 400 himself. And now he's got the M4, and the M4 does another bounce. He's at 500 bounce now. And I mean, wow, what a tank. Okay, so the penetration values seem a bit low, and the damage values are low, but who cares about the damage being low when you can churn it out this quickly? I mean, 2,400 damage he's caused so far, and now he's after the LTTB, and why not? I mean, the LTTB is lightly armoured, he's gonna pen it, and he pens it easily. He's now at 2,700 damage. Wow, he's having a whale of a time. This gun is fantastic. What a great game. I mean, he's hardly lost any damage himself. He's dished a load out, he's got a second-class mastery for his troubles, and he's a top tank. What a fantastic game in that little tank. And thank you, Harrier77, for sharing that with us. So, moving on. Next, we have another good friend of mine from the EU servers, Chairman Mapug of the AFK clan. Now, he's taken out the Indian Panzer, the Tier 8 German medium tank. Now, if you speak to Chairman Mapug, he will tell you, with his hand on his heart, this is not a tank that he really enjoys. Although I pretty much think that's past tense now. Anyway, the Indian Panzer's not the easiest tank to get on with. It's a German medium, and like most German mediums, it has pretty thin armor. Great mobility. This one's got a bit of a long load time, as you can see here, but the gun is uncannily accurate, which is being demonstrated here by Chairman Mapug on this AMX 5100. He's really giving him a hard time. I mean, the poor little devil's going to go, and he's gone. And we're a minute into the game, and Chairman Mapug's already got 1 kill and caused 635 damage. The Indian Panzer itself, I actually like it. It's a nice little tank, but it's a tricky little tank, and you need to know its limitations. Wow, look at that. The ISU 281 I Alpha roll straight into its nose. I mean, Chairman Mapug clearly knows the limitations of this tank, which is why he's in the position he's in. And as you can see there, he's just bounced 200 because the front armor on this thing is nicely angled and you will bounce shots. But the main thing is that gun, I mean, it is deadly accurate. You're not going to pen everything like the IS-2SH, but it's an IS-2SH. Hardly anything pens that damn thing anyway. I mean, the pen values on this tank is 212. It's a really good penetration value. You will pen most things. But you're in a German medium, guys. Most things can pen you too. This is why this tank is nowhere near OP. And like most mediums, it's got a great turn of speed. Really good mobility, and will get you either into trouble or out of trouble pretty darn quick. So here comes Chairman Mapug. Let's take out the ISU. Pretty straightforward. How about the Tiger II? Oh, he wants to track him. He tracks him, but it's just a glancing blow, really. Doesn't really track him completely. But now he can get behind him. Keep rolling those 250 alpha damages. Pretty good. Oh, I don't know what the Tiger II was doing there. Decided to go flying. Finally gets to track him. And now he's going to be able to finish him off. I mean, this is pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, I don't know why the Tiger II is completely ignoring him, but it's allowing Chairman Mapug to have a pretty easy time with this Tiger II. He's just going to carry on tracking him if he can. And why not? I mean, if the Tiger II's focus on somebody else, it gives Chairman Mapug an easy time. Happy days. So here we go. He's already done 1,800 damage. He's bounced 200. He's lost half his hit points. Big deal. But now he's in control. I mean, he's been on the front line realistically from the duration of the battle. He's used this Indian Panzer to the maximum effect. He's still raining down pain on the T-44 and on the enemy teams. He's having a good time in this tank. He's keeping it where he can. What about the IS-2SH? Now he gets to pen him because he's angled all wrongly. Okay, he takes a lot of damage there. But, wow, look at this. I mean, the IS-2 is just in trouble. Everybody's just penetrating him. Chairman Mapug finishes him off nicely. 2 tanks left. T-44, who's down to only 24 hit points. Must be a pretty easy kill. Housing gets him. And a lot of you will say Chairman Mapug's been pretty lucky there with his 9 hit points left, but was he really? I mean, he's played the game really well so far. He's not really put the Indian Panzer in really difficult situations that he can't control. Okay, you had 2 tanks there. They had to go in for the kill realistically. He wasn't YOLOing, he was doing exactly what he should do. And I don't think he got lucky. Okay, you could say it was unfortunate that they didn't wipe him out. No, not at all. I think he played that pretty well. They went for the IS-2SH instead of the T-44, and you know, the IS-2SH has got a much greater role than the T-44. Chairman Mapug knew that, and it's, you know, the housing goes and wipes up. In all, Chairman Mapug had a great game in this little tank, and he was rewarded for it with a mastery. Close to 3,000 damage. Wow, yeah, that's just really good gameplay, and just goes to show that if you take your time and your focus, like Chairman Mapug did, you can have a really good time in that tank. And I'd like to thank Chairman Mapug for sharing that replay with us. So next up we have another FTC1 clan member, this time Bunnybun123, a good friend of mine from the EU service and from the FTC1 clan. Now he's decided to go out in the T150. A tank that is scheduled to become a collector's tank in the next update of 5.5. So it's a rare treat to see what this tank is like before it becomes ultra rare. I actually like this little Russian tier 6 heavy. I think it's underrated. personally, because of the next thing. That the damage this thing can dish out is amazing. It has an average alpha of 320, and its armor is pretty good too. I mean, you've just seen there, Bunny Bun 123 has just rolled 711 damage, and he's bounced 160, and now he's going to give this KV2 a bit of a hard time. Another 332 roll. He's taken what, 4 shots, 3 shots, and he's already got 1,000 damage. That is the glorious thing about this tank, which people really underestimate. Not many people play this tank. He's now bounced 640. Wow. And it's a shame really about this tank. Most people favour the KV1S or the KV2, and I actually think this is better than the KV1S, mainly because the reload is a lot better. I mean the KV1S's reload is on the tier 7 gun 17 seconds, whereas the tier 7 gun on the 150 is only 11 seconds. I mean, this is a vast difference, to be perfectly honest with you. And when you've got that coupled with the damage, which, okay, the KV1S can dish out 400, whereas this only dishes out 320, because of the quicker reload, it makes a big difference. I mean, this thing should, in theory and on paper, have a better parameter kill rate than the KV1S. Anyway, enough about stats. Let's get back to Bunny Bun 123 in the T150. So far, he's bounced 960. That's a lot of bounce. And he's caused 1,626 damage. He's having a good time. They're in a good position. There's only 3 tanks left on the red. Oh, he's bounced 1,200 now. Wow, I mean, this tank, as I said, is underrated. And Bunny Bun 123 is playing it like you should. He's angling it correctly to try and bounce as many shots as possible. Okay, he didn't get away with that one. And he's picking his targets really well, which is why his damage ratio at the moment is really good. And why I think it's a crying shame that not many people favour this tank. It's not played as often as it should. I mean, bye-bye MT25. Bunny Bun just has to wait and they'll come into his line. Now he's only got 1 tank to deal with, the M4A3E2. And he bounces another shot. He's bounced 1,400. I mean, this tank is really good. Okay, he didn't get the final kill, but he dishes out 2,400 damage, bounces 1,440, gets a second class for his efforts, and is the top damage machine. Wow, I mean, that's just how you play the T150, and I'd like to thank Bunny Bun 123 of the illustrious FTC1 clan for showing us that lovely replay of how to play the T150. So, we're now going to finish with Precariat of the BBB clan, which is part of the FTC clan family. Another good friend of mine, and he's decided to go out in the KV1. Obviously, he knows it's one of my favourite tier 5 tanks, if not my favourite tier 5 tank, and I recently did a video on this. I absolutely love this tank. This is by far my favourite tier 5 heavy. It is a damage monster, and Precariat is going to go out and show us and hopefully put me to shame. So he's found the Churchill 1, and so far he's done 2 nice rolls into the Churchill and bounced 160 back. Oh, the T1 Heavy though, that's a different kettle of fish. Pretty difficult tank, pretty nasty to play with. And, you know, you have to be careful with the T1 Heavy because it can pen most things on the battlefield. So Precariat does, he ignores him, and he still plays around with the Churchill 1, who's really not having a good day on the battlefield. Wow, bounces a big alpha roll from the T1 Heavy. So look at this, he's already bounced 615, and he's taken no damage himself, and he's dished out 950 now, because goodbye Churchill. It's just the way it works. I mean, and he's bouncing again from the other side. I mean, it's just a bounce monster, it really is. I mean, this thing must be made of rubber, and as I said in my previous video on the KV1, the armor on this is spectacular. If you angle it to 26 degrees approximately, you will bounce almost anything. Oh, and there goes the T1 Heavy. That's made Precariat's job in this KV1 a lot simpler all of a sudden. I mean, one of the most dangerous tanks is gone. Okay, so it's 3 against 4. And Precariat still hasn't taken a single ounce of damage. He's still on a full hit points. I mean, is anybody ever going to stick a shot into him? That'll do more than just scratch the paint. I mean, this is one hell of a drive. He's caused shy of 1,000 damage. He's bounced 750. He's still got his full hit points. He's in a really good position. And, you know, he hasn't even broken a sweat yet. And when you then look at what the enemy tanks have got left, which is this Covenanter, a Lux, and a Panzer IV Anko, you've got to say that I don't think anybody's going to be able to hurt Precariat at all. It's as simple as that. I think, you know, he could just roll the rest of them up at his leisure. And here comes a willing victim, the Lux. Goodbye, Lux. I mean, wow. It's unbelievable. I mean, obviously, Precariat's not gone out in the top alpha gun. He's gone out in the one down, which means the reload time is a lot faster, which is probably why you're wondering, why is his damage not so big? But when you've got a reload like this, and you haven't taken a single ounce of damage yourself, you've got to say, wow. I mean, do I really need the big derpy gun on the KV-1? I can roll out with the not so derpy gun and still cause the enemy a hell of a lot of problems, still have a really good time. And I think the Covenanter's going to go. Yes, he is. We're now 3 tanks to the good, and here comes the Anko. Are you going to stay there? No, you're not, because I'm going to have a PCU too. What a game. I mean, Precariat, 4 kills. Okay, he didn't have the big derpy gun, so the damage is a bit low, but hey, you don't need the big derpy gun to roll out and come back into the garage with not a single scratch on you. 4 kills, a second class, 1,400 damage, bouncing close to 1,000 damage, and absolutely not losing a single hit point. Now that is a great game, guys. I'd like to thank Harrier77, Chairman Mapug, Bunnybun123 and Precariat for sharing their replays with us. I'm sure, like me, you found them interesting, enjoyable, and very informative. And I'd really love to see your replays too, guys. Send them in. The more replays I get, the more I get to show. I apologize to those who've already sent replays to me that haven't been featured this week, but don't despair, because they're part of another video, and everybody who sends me a replay, I will feature them. That I promise. So, guys, really, send them in. The email is fugitsblitz@gmail.com. Until the next time, guys, have fun up there and happy tanking. Hey, I've been Fugit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I'd really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.